All right, let's start off here with 19 through 24. So for these ones, I would first kind of look for the horizontal asymptote. So the horizontal asymptote will only be affected by any number adding out back. So for the ones I'm doing, I know that on number 22 here, we're going to have a horizontal asymptote at y equals 3. And for number 24, we're going to have it at y equals negative 4. So just with that information, I can actually know here that number 22 is going to be Roman numeral 6. You can see this horizontal asymptote here at y equals 3. And then I can see y equals negative 4 is going to be Roman numeral 4. So that's going to be 24 here because we have that horizontal asymptote at negative 4. Now for number 20, my horizontal asymptote is going to be at y equals 0, which actually all of the rest of these look like they are. But I can know that this negative out front is an x-axis reflection. And so that's going to be kind of upside down. So that's going to be Roman numeral 5 there. You can see is flipped underneath the x-axis. All right, next up here, we'll do 28. And so that's 2 to the x minus 3. So my technique for these, I always do 0, comma 1. Every exponential function has that, and then 1, comma base. In this case, you can see the base is 2. And we start off with a horizontal asymptote at y equals 0. Now, then I would apply my transformations. So in this case, since I have x minus 3 in the exponent, I would add 3 to all my x's. I would keep y the same because there's no transformations of y here. And so that's how I would just kind of change these points here, add 3 to the x's, but keep the y's the same. And since the horizontal asymptote is a y value, I'm not going to apply that plus 3 transformation for x's. So then I can graph these here. So I'll graph my horizontal asymptote as just a dashed line. And then I have my points at 3, comma 1 and 4, comma 2. So then with those points, I can see that it's exponential growth. It's growing from left to right and then approaches the asymptote going left. All right, next up here, number 30. So this one I would rewrite this as y equals negative 3 to the x plus 6. It kind of just helps me see the transformations a little bit better. Now I'll start off here with my 0, comma 1, 1, comma base, and my horizontal asymptote at y equals 0. And then my transformations here, I actually don't have any x transformations. That's always going to be in the exponent there. But my y transformations is all this stuff outside. So I'm going to say negative y plus 6. So I have to make it negative because that out front. And then I have to add 6. So that's kind of why I like it in this other order. So my x values will stay the same. But my y values, I'm going to make them negative and then add 6. So negative 1 plus 6 is 5. Negative 3 plus 6 is 3. And my horizontal asymptote needs to apply the y transformations, so negative 0 plus 6, which is y equals 6. So I'll draw that 2, 4, 6 horizontal asymptote right there. And then my points at 0, 5, and 1, 3. And it's going to approach the asymptote then going left and then go away from it as it goes that way. All right, next up we got number 36. So for this one, we'll start off with our 0, comma 1, and then 1, comma base. Now our base here is e. E for graphing, you can estimate it at about 2.7. It's not the exact number, but for graphing, that's good enough. And then our horizontal asymptote at y equals 0. And then for our transformations here, I actually have a negative in the exponent and a negative out front. So that means that both x and y are going to get switched to negatives here. This one really represents the negative x, while that one represents the negative y. One of them is a y-axis reflection, and one of them is an x-axis reflection. So there's no negative 0, though, but everything else I am going to change here. And then also for the horizontal asymptote, once again, there's no such thing as a negative 0, so that's that. So I'll graph my horizontal asymptote, 0, comma negative 1, negative 1, comma negative 2.7, and it looks like we'll approach the asymptote as we go right and then go away as we go left. Next up, number 38 here. So once again, we'll start off with our 0, comma 1, 1, comma base, which once again, we'll use 2.7 for our base since it's base e. And then we get y equals 0. All right, so then what we'll do is transformation. So I have a x minus 3 there. So it's going to turn to x plus 3 since that's a shift right. And then plus 4 will affect the y since that's on the outside of the function. So then I'll add 3 to my x and then add 4 to my y, add 3 to my x, add 4 to my y. And then my horizontal asymptote is a y value, so I'm going to add 4 to it. So then I'll go up 4 here, put a horizontal asymptote, and then plot my points. 3, 5 will be up there, and then 4, 6.7 would be about there. So this will approach the asymptote going left and then grow exponentially going right.